Do you see these people fleeing? They are running from Katogota, Kamanyola, and Luvungi, 3 towns in South Kivu, Eastern Congo. One of them is this young woman. Her name is Aline Sambuka. She is in her early 20s. That baby she's clutching is just a few months old. I want you to listen to her voice. As you do so, look into her eyes, feel her pain, feel her despair. And as you do so, you will feel something rising in your chest. Hold on to that feeling. I will tell you exactly what to do with it.
May the authorities help put an end to this war. We want to go back home and live like everyone else.
Aline said 3 powerful things. May the authorities end this war. We want to return home. We want to live like everyone else. That feeling in your chest as you listen to her just now, don't waste it. That's energy. That's conscience. That's power. Let me tell you something, and please never forget this. When Aline says the authorities, she's talking about you and I, because sovereign power is vested in us. We the people of Africa, we are the ultimate authority. Presidents, Tshisekedi, Kagame, Ruto, Ramaphosa, all of them are not our bosses. They are our servants. But for too long, we have acted like servants and enabled them to behave like untouchable kings. How then should we use our power? That energy that rose in your chest when you listen to Aline, we can channel that power, that energy, into consistent, ever-growing pressure for this war in Congo to end. To truly end, to channel this power, we must organize. We must support those who are already doing a lot to end this war. To support people like Aline. Please follow all these accounts on your screen and watch their content. You will learn more about the specifics. Fellow Africans, only organized people power will send Aline and her baby back home to safety and peace. Remember, Aline and hundreds of others fled one day before the so-called peace deal between Congo and Rwanda, brokered by Donald Trump. Even as these 3 men were smiling for the cameras, trumpeting peace, Aline was still running. Civilians were still sleeping in the cold. Families were still mourning loved ones, killed by bombs and by M23 fighters on the ground. That is why this is not a peace deal. It is a blood business deal. Because as they waved this deal in Washington, Aline and her baby were still searching for a safe haven that barely exists. Fellow Africans, right here in the motherland and in the diaspora, in Jamaica, Barbados, New York, Paris, London, and across the world, as I speak to you today, days after that blood business deal, thousands are still fleeing. Hundreds are fleeing with injuries. Dozens are not fleeing at all because they are already dead. Just yesterday, December 6th, 2 days after that deal was signed, fierce fighting erupted around Luvungi and the Ruzizi Plains. Dozens lie dead, fathers, mothers, children. Yes, children. So we cannot dignify that document by calling it a peace deal. For the people of South Kivu, it is nothing but a fresh rubber stamp on their suffering. The day it brings actual peace, we will then call it a peace deal. But today, for Aline and thousands of innocent Congolese civilians, it is simply a continuation of the war. Let me show you exactly why. 2 days before the deal, on December 2nd, M23 dropped bombs on Katogota. Panicked civilians fled towards Luvungi. On December 3rd, bombs rained on Luvungi, forcing people to flee again. Homes were abandoned. Children pulled from their sleep. Elders and the injured carried on makeshift stretchers. All of this was happening amidst intense fighting between M23 and Wazalendo, a pro-government militia. And on December 4th, while final preparations for the Washington handshakes were underway, families in South Kivu were still digging shallow graves and hiding in banana plantations. This is the world that Aline was running away from. This is the truth behind the cameras. Ask yourself this question. What does it mean to flee with a month-old baby? Aline is not fleeing because someone offered her a job somewhere else. She is fleeing because of bombs and guns blasting all around her. Death was falling from the sky. Imagine holding a child whose neck can barely hold. Imagine that. Just a quick one before I go on. Last year, I wrote a book about historic African leaders like Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Nyerere, and of course, Ibrahim Traore. There are nearly 100 of them in that book. Many of you have already bought the book, and I'm very grateful for that. If you haven't bought it, please head on to Amazon and purchase your copy. Both physical and digital copies are available. Thanks a lot. Imagine breastfeeding when your own stomach is empty. Imagine walking barefoot on rugged terrain because running is the only thing keeping you alive. Your breast milk is dry. Your legs are shaking. Your ears are ringing from the sound of bombs. Your mind is racing with only one question. Will I survive long enough to see tomorrow? Will my baby survive? Then imagine hearing presidents on TV declare that they have brought peace.
In this holy season, we prepare to celebrate the birth of the Prince of Peace. We have come to the U.S. Institute of Peace to sign a historic agreement that will end one of the longest-running conflicts anywhere in the world, with far more than 10 million people killed. Today, we commit to stopping decades of violence and bloodshed and to begin a new era of harmony and cooperation between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda.
Peace? Where? Peace for who? When a deal is announced in Washington, while blood still soaks the soil of Luvungi and Katogota. That is not a peace deal. That is performance, bloody performance. It is a public relations project, a symbolic massacre of civilians, an illusion of peace. And the currency of that illusion is Congolese blood. That's why we are calling it a blood business deal. Because when you follow the money, when you follow the minerals, when you follow the geopolitical calculations, you realize something very dark. If Congo's minerals suddenly dried up today, there will be total peace in Congo tomorrow. South Kivu is one of the richest pieces of land on earth. Beneath its soils lies gold, coltan, tungsten, tin. These are minerals that power electric cars, smartphones, and global tech supply chains. Whenever fighting rages on, minerals move. Whenever minerals move, profit flows. So the blood must flow for the profits to keep flowing. Congo is the only place on this planet where the richest natural resources sit side by side with some of the poorest populations on earth. Because war has become a tool for extraction. This is why the bombs never truly end. They never stop. This is why peace agreements rarely hold. And this is why Aline is running with a newborn baby instead of planning for the baby's future. In Congo, the war is not just violence, it is a system. It is an economy. It is an industry. And this deal strengthens that industry. Now, let us return to that feeling in your chest. You felt it when you saw and heard from Aline, when you heard her voice, when you saw people running to unknown destinations. That ache in your chest is not random. It is not weakness. It is your spirit recognizing another human being. It is your soul demanding justice. That feeling is power. It is the same feeling that sparked anti-colonial revolutions. It is the same feeling that pushed Africans to fight for independence. It is the same feeling that inspired slaves in America to revolt and seek freedom. It is the same feeling that has toppled dictators and broken chains. Do not waste it. What then should we do with that feeling, with that energy? We organize, we apply pressure, we refuse to be silent. We use every platform that we have, our voice, our vote, our networks, our social media, our churches, our mosques, our religious institutions, our classrooms, our WhatsApp groups. We use all that to demand accountability and real peace. In the short and midterm, demand the following: a verifiable ceasefire, humanitarian access, a halt to all aerial bombardment, independent investigations, naming and shaming all entities fueling the conflict, transparency in mineral supply chains, African-led peace enforcement, not foreign peer events. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Remember, silence is complicity. Neutrality is a choice. And in moments like this, neutrality sides with the oppressor. Now, let us go back to Aline once more.
May the authorities help put an end to this war. We want to go back home and live like everyone else.
She did not give a political speech. She did not draw maps of the conflict. She did not analyze regional geopolitics. She did not even engage in a blame game. She said only three things. May the authorities end this war. We want to return home. We want to live like everyone else. The most basic human plea: let us live. Let our children grow up. Let our families stay together. Let us have peace. And today I ask you, will we ignore her voice, or will we turn her tears into action? Here's the truth. Congo's war will not end because three men in suits signed a document. Congo's war will not end because cameras captured those signed deals. Congo's war will not end because of press statements or diplomatic smiles. Congo's war will end when Africans everywhere rise and say, Tosha, enough is enough. Toss it all. Not one more bomb. Not one more bullet. Not one more injury. Not one more death. Even one life lost is one too many. Not one more mother running with a newborn. Congo's war will end when we, the people, make it end. When we refuse to look away. When we make our voices and our actions louder than their prophets. Aline is waiting. Her baby is waiting. Congo is waiting. Africa is watching. And we, the African people, must answer. My name is DJ Bokale, and Africa is my superpower.